Back in 2017, we applied for a EPSRC case studentship, which is like a project working with a company. That was with Northumbrian Water for optimising wastewater treatment facilities. So we had a 4-year project initially, and we got some really good outputs from that PhD studentship. We applied for some continuation funding then, which is where the KTP comes in. That's a knowledge transfer partnership, so the idea was to transfer the knowledge that we got from the PhD work into the business.
The project is called OpsMod. It's a tool that we've personally developed over the last 7 or 8 years. So the main project's basically looking at managing the site in an economic fashion, but helping to deliver net zero results at least cost to the customer. The initial question that we were asked about why we should do this in the first place is basically the open-ended question of, are we doing the best thing at our wastewater treatment sites? And in particular, the advanced anaerobic digestion, the sludge processing centres. When you add all these different layers of complexity and half-hourly changing markets, for example, suddenly things become very, very complicated. To address the problem, we started with a PhD to try and answer some of those broader questions, and we came up with a series of academic models where we use mixed interlinear programming. And what we effectively do is model various different components of the site. We model some of the regulatory frameworks that we have. We have things like carbon emissions factors thrown in there. So it's all one big multi-layered complicated problem. We pass it to a solver and it gives us out an answer. So one of the other things this model allows us to do is differentiate between economic benefits and environmental benefit. So we can run our model and see how should we run the site purely for economics. On the flip side, we can ignore the economics and drive towards net zero as best we can and see what the cost of that would be. And it's all about trying to find that balance.
It's important because it's a complex challenge. It needs that academic know-how to help us address what is actually fundamental to helping us achieve our commitments to net zero, which are to deliver a fair transition to net zero in line with government targets. The difference, I think, is that prior to having this tool available, decisions were very much based on the here and now, whereas Harry's managed to bring a lot more complex and rich data together to present in a way that enables a much more sophisticated decision-making approach.
So the impact this project's had, it basically allows the operators to take a little bit of a step back from needing to manage a very, very complicated energy plant and can focus more about the physical running of the plant. We've also managed to use this tool to validate other contracts, not just looking at the physical operations of the site. So that's things like, in the event of a natural gas emergency, Northumbrian Water are going to help by cutting back any potential use to have across the business. But we've used this tool to help validate any sort of contracts or make sure that we physically can still run the site.
For me, and indeed all of our research programme success, is when we get that research from a purely academic exercise into something that's making a difference for the business.
I would say the success of this project truly demonstrates how collaboration of academia and industry and forming that partnership and getting it to work really well together can really drive really good, tangible results. I genuinely don't think this project would have been successful if we hadn't had the support from both academia and industry, and we'd all collaborated together when needed. So engagement with this particular project was absolutely vital for a successful delivery. If we did not have operator buy-in, if we didn't have buy-in from some of the treatment works managers and even some of the senior directors, this project would not have succeeded and got to where it is today.
The university benefits from these kind of projects in all sorts of different ways. Teaching is one thing, so we've got some good case studies out of doing this work that we've been able to do with our undergraduate students, as well as sort of research projects with our final year students. Had some research publications off the back of the project as well, and it's opened opportunities to speak with other companies to do similar types of things with those as well. So there's quite a few benefits to us as a university.
We're going to be continuing working with Newcastle University, so we're now going to be using the same principles that we've used in this project, but applying it to a wider approach of the sludge management strategy, and potentially see where that goes and maybe expand it even further. We've also got some conversations internally about potential commercialisation, or at least engaging with a third party to deliver these benefits to other water companies or even other industries beyond Northumbrian Water. Yeah, to be honest, all of it's been great. I've loved seeing the actual final delivery and people use something that I've had a really big helping hand in delivering. It's just really nice to see an academic project that I've been a part of over the last 8 years transition into something that it is now and be part of that growth. It's been really nice.